jean jacket, no shirt, no pants. You must be Peter Rabbit. Yes, I am. My name is Peter Rabbit. Yeah, that's my impression of Peter Rabbit. I don't really care. So, welcome to my movie review on Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway. Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, is the sequel to the first Peter Rabbit film. I mean, I've seen this one on Blu-ray. It's actually a likable movie. I liked this film. I thought it was a very entertaining kids movie. So, well, here's how the sequel is. So the story of the sequel is that Mr. McGregor and the woman, like the both neighbors of the country, like the ones that are like housed together, got married, and then it got popular at the bookstore. Like they were making all the children books of Peter Rabbit, and it got very popular. And then Peter Rabbit has been making a lot of bad decisions, and then they call him the bad seed just to make fun of him, and then like he just like runs away and just says like better off without. I'll probably won't need to tell you the rest. So my thoughts with Peter Rabbit 2. Peter Rabbit 2 was a very weird movie. Like, it's a very weird sequel. Like, when I looked up on YouTube one time when a trailer appeared that said Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, I never really said anything for a sequel, but I thought the first one was likable. I enjoyed it, but... And I was just like this when Peter Rabbit 2 appeared, like, oh, they made a sequel? I can probably see the reason why if people like these movies. And with the sequel, it's not as good as the first. Like, I'm not saying Peter Rabbit 2 is a bad movie. It's not a horrible film. It was just not as good as the first, but it was, like, a lot weirder. It had everything, like, a little, like, what's happening? What's going on? What? What? And the only best scene out of the whole movie is when Peter eats a apple that's decomposed. Blech. 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 That was the only scene that was hilarious. But, I mean, I don't mind James Gordon as Peter Rabbit. I mean, James Gordon's fine. Like, he's a fine actor. I mean, if you had somebody else then as Peter Rabbit, and then they do not as good as him, then you got, like, a huge problem. I mean, the casting's not horrible. They're not terrible. I mean, I do like Domhnall Gleeson. Don't forget. He's in the Star Wars sequel trilogy. We're not talking about Star Wars. We're talking about Peter Rabbit. But, yeah, like, Peter Rabbit 2, like, there's, like, a lot of stuff going on. And, like, I just been like, what's been happening? So, with the story was just decent, but here's where you could have had it fixed with a sequel. Like, both neighbor houses got married, and then, like, if you've probably seen the rolling scene in the trailer, I'm not spoiling the scenes that they weren't shown in the trailer. I'm spoiling the ones that were in the trailer. Like, you probably know the scene when Mr. McGregor just like rolls down the hill, and then gets like hurt, damage, or something. Like, have that be after the wedding scene, and then like that would be all like a fix-up, and then have the story about with no Peter Rabbit at all. No. Have it with Peter Rabbit. That's what I'm meaning. But have the baby be in the movie with, like, I know they were going to try to have children, but yeah, I've got probably nothing to say. Like, everything was just like weird and what was happening. So, here's what I'll say of Peter Rabbit 2. It's fine. Not a bad movie. It's not a terrible movie. It was an okay, decent film. Like, it's a decent movie. It's just not as good as the first. So, I'm going to probably just give Peter Rabbit... I'm just going to give Peter Rabbit a 4.7 out of a 10 and a C+. Like, that's what I think about the movie. I mean, the cinematography's decent. The soundtrack's really good. I actually do like the soundtrack. That's what I can tell you. And, yeah, that's literally all. So, 4.9 out of a 10 and a C+. So that is all I got. I'll see you next time. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And we are almost close to 100 subscribers. And let's get the subscribers going. going. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye-bye.